Liverpool Cross Challenge is the premier event in the UK cross-country schedule. This race incorporates the trials for the European Cross Country Championships, giving athletes a chance to earn a coveted Great Britain vest and represent their country at major championships. Qualifying is as follows. The top 6 senior athletes across the line will book their spot for Brussels in just 2 weeks' time.
Go on, Callum! Great run! Great run!
Whilst this may sound simple, making the team is a tough ask. Liverpool Cross Challenge attracts the top endurance runners from across the UK, with Olympians and world medalists towing the line each year.
Go on, Callum!
If that wasn't enough, the course is renowned for its poor conditions, with low temperatures, extreme mud and areas of standing water.
So the reason why I think Liverpool is such a unique race is it doesn't matter who you are when you turn up to the race. There's no qualifying times, it doesn't matter what your calibre of an athlete is, it doesn't matter if you're sponsored or not. There's hundreds of people in the race and it's the first 6 across the line that are going to make the team. So everyone turns up with the same chances, which I think is really important. And last year for me in the short course trial, that's exactly what happened. I turned up as kind of known but relatively unknown back in the UK, and this was a real breakout race for me to push on, make a GB vest and start turning some heads. And from that point onwards, this year has been crazy for me for development. So why I really want to make sure that we capture this event and do it some justice is I know the next person who will be having a really big breakout year and story is probably in this race, and there's a lot of people that have not represented GB before or going maybe with not too much of a profile who in a month's time could have been to a European Championships representing Great Britain and could kick on from there. So yeah, I think Liverpool is a really unique event in that aspect. It's just a one-off trial race and it's the best 6 that win. Yeah, so for me, this time last year I chose to go for the mixed relay trial, which is only 1 mile, and finished in the top 2 and made the team, and that pushed me on. This year I've got slightly different ambitions for the season. I want to have an indoor season in January and February and make that my aim. So for the next couple of months I really need to focus on the longer distance work. So I'm going to choose to do the 10k trial. Difficult, hence the video, but give it a good go, and hopefully from this longer work and having a more sort of longer term mindset, I'll be good for the indoors. But I'm excited to get amongst it with some of the longer distance athletes for sure. So I think that Jack Rowe will definitely make the team. He's been in really good form, done some really good half marathon and 10k results, and he's won at Liverpool before, so I think without a doubt he's going to make the team. I also think Zach Mohammed's got a great chance. Both him and his brother are fantastic over the mud. I don't think his brother Mohammed is going to be racing because he's getting ready for a marathon, but I definitely think that Zach has a great chance and he's probably one of the main picks to make that senior men's team. I think a pick that some people might not necessarily recognise straight away that comes to mind, but Callum Johnson was an English national cross-country champion. He's really good on the grass and mud, really strong runner, did a marathon debut maybe a year or so ago, and I don't think many people have him as an outright pick, but when they see him race I think they'll definitely realise how strong he can be. One pick that again runners might not necessarily know is Hugo Milner, who has made the Euros team a couple of times and is a super strong runner. He's a triathlete by trade and has recently won a World Cup triathlon. I think he's riding a high from that. I've got no idea if he's actually racing, but if he chooses to race, I've got no doubt he'll make the top 6 for sure. A really popular athlete is Eliot Cross, so I think he's got a great chance. He's run sort of 28-20-ish for 10k, he's been doing some half marathon stuff, really good on cross country, strong athlete from Aldershot. He'll have a lot of people cheering for him on the day, definitely, and I personally really hope he makes the team, but yeah, he's not a shoo-in, but I definitely think he can get in the top 6. 2 athletes that have really popped onto the scene in the last year or so are Charlie and George Wheeler, the twins, who are outstanding athletes themselves on the track. They've run 13:20, 13:50 respectively, and definitely have cross-country pedigree as well after running the NCAA. No one really knows how well they'll go on the mud. They recently performed very well at Cardiff where it's a little bit drier, but they're willing to get after it. They'll be in the top 6 for at least the first half, just getting after it. So I really hope one of them makes the team, if not both of them, and there'll be stiff competition for sure. Another cross-country specialist is Angus McMillan, who has run well on the track and road, but never kind of done anything crazy that's made him jump out to people. But I'm sure himself would admit he's a seriously good cross-country runner comparative to those other disciplines. He's run really well at Cardiff, he ran really well at the cross-country relays at Mansfield, and I think he's going to be coming in really good confidence. So that's another young guy that'll be trying to make a senior men's team for the first time, and I think Angus has got a really good shout. Another runner back from America is Scott Beattie. He is recently signed with Hoka, he's been coached by Andy Hobdell. He's a seriously good road runner and ran at Riga in the World Road Running Championships, where I think he finished just outside the top 10, maybe he was even in the top 10. He comes with some serious pedigree. Again, who knows how he'll do over 10k cross country, but he's certainly a name that you can't discount. He's run 27.50 for 10k, which automatically puts him as one of the top contenders on paper. A runner that we need to mention is Mark Scott. He's run 12.57 for 5k. He now has moved over to the roads and is running with NN and Nike. He is an athlete where he's had a lot of injury problems of late, and no one really knows exactly what fitness he's in, but on paper he's the fastest guy that will be going into that race. You can't really ever discount someone that's run sub 13 for 5k. He'll be in the mix and he'll have one goal, which is to make the team, the same as everybody else, and it'll take a brave man to bet against Mark Scott, so he's definitely on the shortlist. The interesting thing really about Liverpool is that the under-23 men will race with the senior men, so all the names that I'm listing are people I think will make the senior team, but will actually get beaten by a lot of under-23s. You have people like Rory Leonard and James Kingston that will be going into this thinking, I really want to compete for the overall title, not just to try and make their individual under-23 teams. And as for the seniors, there's probably 15 or 20 people that I've not mentioned who all will go into it thinking that they can make the team and all have just as good a chance. People like Jack Gray, who's come second in the English National, people like Jeremy Dempsey, another training partner of mine that's running really well for Cambridge University and Shaftesbury. There's so many different names and so many people that think they have a sniff at being the 5th or 6th counter across the line to make a GB team, and that's what makes Liverpool so exciting. Until 9.8 kilometres is up on that Saturday, no one's going to know who's going to make it, and really it is all to play for, so it's very exciting.
And our leader in it across to Brussels. 3 races.
Now then, chaps. See who's racing. Mark Scott is here, and Tom Evans. All-star cast, pretty much everyone. So don't be concerned if I'm like 30th or 25th or something like that going through, because I've got no chance. If I go out hard, I've got no chance to hang on. So I need to just trust that I can work through. And if I don't work through, then that's fine. That's a learning experience, and I need to get better at progressing through. But I'm going to try and keep it under wraps, and I'm going to try and use the lead group of under 23s to kind of get a gauge on like whereabouts I am, because that's like around the ability that I should be. There's no point me going off with Zach and Jack and whoever. I'll just die, won't I? So I'm just going to try and stay in, work through, and if I can work all the way through, great, but at some point I might just have to dig in and hold on. So yeah, in terms of places, don't feel like you have to let me know exactly where I am, do you know what I mean? But equally, if it's the last lap and I'm coming down and I'm 11th senior and I want to get in the top 10, then don't obviously shout that.
Callum!
Go on, Ollie!
Cross got the Richmond Settlement athlete up there.
Let's go, Cal, let's go!
Jack Rowe in third place. Zach Mohammed.
Great run! Let's go,
Impressive piece of running, as impressive. The winner, the second leg of the Cross Challenge, Hugo Milner, Derby AC, Farnham and District athlete, and Rory Leonard, and they're still battling it out. And Callum Elsom up there also. There's Zach Mohammed.
Yes, Callum!
Well, that was a tremendous battle for second, third and fourth there. What an impressive run by Hugo Milner. And Hugo Milner must have been pretty close to Henry Kerris's winning time of 29.19 last year.
I couldn't get fifth, I just had to stay and hope I was sixth.
Once again, great to hear the applause and the encouragement.
I never been that tired in my whole life.
All these athletes.
I came through well.
That win by Hugo Milner.
Someone said I was sixth, I was like, I ain't catching it, I'm just going to...
Big shout out to all our officials today. Come to the event. Our first game team here today.
I came through well then. Mate, you did. Have I got mud on my face? Always. Sorry guys, big games, big players. Count me at your peril! At your peril! I'm gonna get wild with me over the top. That is funny. That is approximately 7 times longer than my preferred distance. Oh.
Let's get a beer for the way home. Callum, but I ran off.
I just robbed 6th place, baby.
Can't walk, mate.
Yeah, boy.
Cross your toes. Gonna be getting that out your toes for days.
I feel high right now.
Okay.
This is the
Because
thrills.
you haven't eaten. Do you want to see the sauce of that?
Nah.
You need something.
Squares bar and a bottle of wine, baby.
Actually, go try and get your babe.
I'll be in, unless someone's applied to be in the team that couldn't come to the trial. Normally they do just take the top 6, so I should be in.
But yeah, I don't know if you managed to actually see it on the live stream, but I was about 30th and I just kept coming through. I actually couldn't believe how fast I was moving. But yeah, pretty good. 9.8k, 29.15. So if you add like, what, 35 seconds for the missing 200, I'm running like 29.50-ish, 10k on horrendous mud. So that's pretty good compared to last year. Yeah.
There's a good reason that the European cross-country trials are so unforgiving. Great Britain has a rich history at the championships, topping the medal tables in the under-20, under-23 and senior categories since the event was conceived in the late 1990s. This year, the GB team carries more medal hopes, the strongest of which come in the junior races. Keep an eye out for athletes that look to build on their success at the 2022 championships.